feel like doing anymore. And the only why is, hey, because I don't want to not keep my word. That's okay. You know, in the success program that I've been on,
What's up, you guys?
book, it's a tapes, it's almost every single one talks about power goal setting. Why? Because it's a fundamental key to all lifelong success plans you can possibly imagine. The challenge, of course, is we hear it so often, we tend to take it just a little bit for granted, don't we? When you get yourself to the point where you heard it so often, you go, please don't talk about goal setting. You know, I know all about it. Yes, I should make sure my goals are stated in the positive. Yes, I should write them down. Yeah, I know all that stuff. Come on! You know what? You gotta be careful not to get caught in that trap called the law of familiarity. You know, when you get so used to it, you're going to take it just a little bit for granted. Because fundamentals have to be practiced daily. Hey, think about the greatest coaches you can think of in sports history. Names that come up for me are names like Vince Lombardi, for example, or John Wooden. What do they know mostly? Teaching fundamentals to people that are already the best at what they do. Think about it. John Wooden would take a basketball player, a kid who's the best in the world at what he does, virtually, at least for his age group, and he can make a shot from virtually anywhere, and you go, that's really cute, kid. Get over here, and I want you to shoot 400 free throws. Vince says, I can do that. So, yeah, well, let's see you do it. Or come over here, and I want to see you shoot 500 bank shots from 5 feet. Well, I can do that, the kid would say, because I know you can do it, and you're going to do it every day, this many times, so that you do it in the key clutch moments. You got to practice fundamentals every day. You won 11 consecutive national championships, unlike any team in history. That's the power of fundamentals. So anytime I do a workshop, anytime I try and do tapes, usually I put a goal setting workshop in. And some of them have some similarities. So if you've done one with me before, it's a chance to do it again and do it even more effectively. Invariably, when I hear people say something like, ultimate is out there, I know they aren't even master. Because repetition, again, is the mother of skill. You heard me say that over and over again. If you want to master anything, you got to do it over and over and over again. And every time I do a goal-setting workshop myself, I obviously make new distinctions. I set up some new goals. They change. So don't take it for granted and say, well, these two tapes are on goals. They're short, they're simple, and I can do that some other time. I already know my goals. Don't get caught in that hook. The bottom line is do the exercise as if you're setting goals brand new and fresh. And for most people, they don't have a clearly defined set of goals anyway. Again, you know, I'm now teaching Taekwondo. I had the good fortune of training with the Grand Master of Taekwondo in the United States. His name is Grandmaster Jun Rhee. The interesting thing about Jun Rhee as a master is he taught me something. He taught me to go from the frame of mastering simple things over and over again. Everything he teaches to become a black belt breaks down to 7 simple moves. Isn't that interesting? And what's interesting is he says that most people never make it to black belt because they keep coming in and say, show me something new. He said, no, you have to master the fundamentals. And if you do those, you do them over and over again, you'll be a black belt easily and consistently. So don't get caught in those traps. Break through the bonds of your past and look at the world in a whole new way where you understand fundamentals must be practiced. Whatever it takes, not bored by fundamentals. Get excited about daily things. Create an ongoing level of happiness and joy you want for a lifetime. Now, let's take a quick look. What is the power of goals? Why do we talk about them so much? Why do we use them? Why are they important? Answer, with goals, we create the future in advance. We create our destiny. We shape our lives. And we all have goals, whether we know it or not. The problem is some people have really lousy goals. Now, whatever your goals are,
Hi, I'm Luke, and thanks for checking out this video, where I'm actually on a Snapchat places around Australia, and you're probably wondering to yourself, who is this random guy on a random hill in the middle of nowhere? Well, this is the sort of place you'll find me most of the time, because my wife and I do live a lifestyle of flexibility and freedom, simply because we run an online business, and all we need to do is our laptop and Wi-Fi. So this video is for anyone who is sick and tired of being distracted in the rat race, thinking that John is not having any money,
+4. Done properly and specifically, they transform our lives. One of my best favorite examples is a study that was done in 1953 at Yale University. What they did there was an intensive study where they interviewed the graduating class just before they left school. And they asked them a whole series of questions, but the one that was most interesting for me was, they asked them, how many of you have a clear, specific set of goals with a written plan for their achievement? Well, interestingly enough, as you might guess, less than 3% had a set of written goals with the plan. 20 years later, in 1973, they went back and interviewed the surviving class members of the class of 53. And they interviewed these people to find out what were their lives like. Well, the interesting thing was that 3% had written goals and specifically had a plan for their attainment appeared to be happier, more well-adjusted, more excited about their life as a whole. But see, those things are subjective. The one thing that's very measurable is this. The group of people who had written goals were worth more in financial terms than the entire other 97% that didn't have goals combined. Think about that. That's the power of goal setting. I can tell you in my own life, it has transformed me. That you can know all the techniques of how to condition yourself to succeed, but if you don't know why you're doing it, if you don't know what it is you're moving towards, then it's rare that you're going to get the most out of yourself. Years ago, I had the unique good fortune as I began to study some of these technologies from Optimum Performance. I was invited to go to Russia, and I spent over there approximately 2 weeks. During that time, I got a chance to explore many aspects of Russia. I got to go to the universities, I got the chance to meet with some of the people who were involved in Optimum Performance technologies. And in the process of doing that, I found myself on one stretch where I was on the Trans-Siberian Railway. I was going literally from Moscow all the way to Siberia and then back to Leningrad. We're talking about a large stretch of land, a lot of time to just think. During that time, I was just starting to develop some of my personal power. I really hadn't created my life the way I wanted it, but I felt like there were some possibilities out there. I was still living in my 400 square foot bachelor apartment. I was still overweight. I was still in a position where I really didn't have my life where I wanted it in terms of my relationships. But on that trip, for 2.5 days, all I did was set goals. And then for another 2 or 3 days, all I did was design plans on how I was going to achieve them. And I set goals that were well beyond my present ability or skill. I had no idea how I was going to make them happen. That's important. But I operated from a principle that's talked about in every religion known to man. So regardless of what you believe religiously or spiritually, it's a common law. That is the power of absolute, total belief and faith. I operated from the frame that if I could get inspired enough, if I found a goal that was exciting enough for me, I would figure out how to make it happen. Even though right now it might seem impossible, I would pull it off. And I laid out goals for my life in virtually every area. Personally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, physically, financially. And I choked down, what do I want in my life ultimately, and what do I want right now? And in a lot of areas, I thought, well, I can make it happen. I figured I can get control of my emotions. And so I set goals about how I wanted to be, how I wanted to communicate, how much joy I wanted to have, how much passion, how I would live every single day, the kind of person I wanted to be as a human being. I described my relationships. I described the woman of my dreams in detail. It took 6 pages to describe exactly the kind of person, mentally, emotionally, socially, and spiritually I wanted in my life, and physically. I described her in detail. In addition to describing how I wanted my kids to be, I described everything. Now you might say, well, gosh, you're really creating a lot of limitations. I set goals, and I look at them, and I review them and see if they still make sense to me. But I did it in detail. I also did it in the area of finances, and I set some pretty absurd goals. I decided I wanted to make $250,000 a year in personal income. At the time, I was making less than $3,000 a month. $3,000 was a good number. Guess what happened? I came back. I laid out this plan. In fact, I did the plan on the back of a map that I bought in Russia. I have it to this day, where I broke down the whole thing. I show it oftentimes to people in my seminars, so they get an idea of where I was and what I actually created, just by designing the roadmaps necessary for success. I came back and began to implement. A lot of my plans, I have to tell you, did not work out. But I achieved over 80% of my goals in less than 12 months. I mean, massive change. I went well beyond anything I dreamed of. I changed myself physically. I lost all the weight. I changed my myself emotionally and developed the confidence that was necessary. I changed myself and my relationships massively. I attracted the woman of my dreams. I married her about a year after that. I had decided I wanted to have 4 kids. I got 3 instantly. What a deal. I was on a roll. I turned myself from totally broke financially to over $1 million net worth in less than 12 months. You talk about massive change. My life changed at every level. I mean, I can tell you how much my confidence changed, but you might go, oh, big deal. But it did. My level of confidence, my level of faith, my ability to create rapport changed radically. I mean, I also set thing goals besides my personal development goals because I felt confident that I could probably accomplish some of the development within myself.
What's up?
But I felt like I can control that. I can't control the outside world or my economics or the ability to get things. That was my hang-up at the time. I set goals for things like I was going to have a limousine, a stretch limousine. I mean, how absurd. I had a car that was breaking down continuously. I had a stretch limousine within 6 months. I mean, I'm talking about massive, massive change. I mean, you can't imagine the kind of miracles that happen. I know this sounds fluffy and bizarre, but it really works. I remember the first time I went to Fiji. It was my favorite place in the world. I thought, I've been everywhere. I've been to most major countries in the world. This is the most beautiful, amazing land I've ever been to. I gotta own a piece of property on this specific island. I never would have bought in a million years. And 2 years later, after setting that goal, I'd own an island. I could own a resort in Bali. It's one of the top 3 resorts in Fiji now. I go there 4 times a year with 20 of my best friends, and we all have a blast. And we set our goals there. I mean, we look at our lives and balance and have fun. I mean, it's amazing. But if you try to tell me that 2 years earlier, I would have said you are absolutely insane. You're nuts. There's just no way. I mean, get real. I'm here to tell you, don't get real. Get intelligent. Because what's real to you today is based on your past, based on your past experiences. And if you limit your future based on your past, you're not going to go anywhere. You've got to get the goals that are big enough to drive you, to excite you. So don't stop and go, how do I do it? That's not the first step. The first step is get it down. And if you do that, you can create your island, your paradise, whether that be something emotional inside of you want to create, like a character change or a behavior or a habit, or whether that's a business you want to start, or whether that's some kind of money you want to earn, or something you want to do for your children. I'm telling you, it can happen. The magic that you've heard about and dreamed about is real. And it starts with a simplistic process of taking these generalized impulses of desire and starting to define them with more precision. This is the power of goal setting. We don't understand totally how it works. There's something beyond just what we understand of writing something down. Something happens. You become a creator. Write down goals and you get clear as to absolutely why you make them happen. And by the way, that's the key that we're going to touch on in detail. We've got to make sure that you not only set goals, but you get absolutely clear why you want them. Because there's a fundamental key to goal setting that changed my life, and that is this. Purpose is stronger than outcome. What do I mean? Well, I think that the purpose of goals is not so you get things. The purpose of any goal, the real reason to set goals is what they will make of you as a person. Hey, look, at the end of your life, all the things that you accumulate are not going to make you happy. At the end of your life, all you're going to have is who you become as a person. The moment you created your life, you never forget. So some people in life, they go out and set goals, they put blindly, they say, these are the things I want to have in my life. They focus, let's say, on things. And there's nothing wrong with focusing on things. All you have as many things as you want. That's part of life too. That's part of the manifestation process of creating results. But if all you do is focus on getting things, it may cost you. Some people in their desire to get things have given up their own integrity of who they want to be and what they want to create in their life. You got to be careful of that. You got to make sure when you set a goal, you know why you're doing it. Hey, you might want to real hard, for example, do something that you want to do. Let's say you want to make $1 million. But see, $1 million only motivates you so much. Becoming the kind of person who's able to manifest total abundance financially and physically for themselves and the people around them, that's what I'm excited. Having the freedom that you think the money will give you, or having the ability to give, or having the ability to do things you think that money will give you, or having more time, that'll motivate you a lot more than just the money. Does that make sense? The problem with setting goals is, one, most people take it for granted. They don't do it seriously, and they don't do it consistently. They do it once a year, and they do it at New Year's. They remember the New Year's syndrome. They set a goal, and they don't even look at it until a year later. Oops, I screwed up, raise out of doing it. They have no power. Secondly, they don't realize the power of goals. They take it sure that they get it inside their head where it's absolutely real for them. They don't realize that when they set a goal, they're now creating something in life. And finally, the biggest challenge I think is that these people don't know why they're going for their goals. So the object, the goal itself, they get enthusiastic for a while and then it dies out. Again, why is different for everybody? You've got to find out the reasons. I believe this. Reasons come first, answers come second. You get big enough reasons to do something, to accomplish something, you can figure out how to do it. But if all you do is set up a goal and say, oh gosh, how am I going to about it? You're not going to be inspired enough. It's not going to become compelling enough for you to really create long-term results. Every great success I know is figure out the why behind the goals, and that's their power. So in our process on the next tape tomorrow, we're going to do the goal setting workshop itself. We're going to spend a good deal of time focusing on why do we want these goals after we've identified them. And secondly, how are we going to go about making them? That's second. We're going to start from the frame that we can achieve anything as soon as we think of it. Somebody once pointed out to me a long time ago that desire in its Latin form means of the Father. Desire. I thought that's interesting. In other words, anything that I desire, that thought process has been given to me. And with the ability to have a goal, I believe instantly comes the ability to achieve it. That ability is built within us or we wouldn't have the desire in the first place. So come from that place and watch what you can do to create a new reality of success in your life. Now, I got a question for you. Do you know why goals really work? Well, there are lots of theories, but I'll tell you what a few of mine are. Number one, I believe that thoughts are things. That whatever we focus on consistently, we experience in our life. You and I know that's true. We've talked about it over this week. If I pay attention to one area of my life and I focus on it, that's what's going to be real for me. That's what I'm going to feel. I also believe that whatever we focus on consistently, that our thoughts are things. As you think, so you create, so you manifest. So part of goal setting is just by having that focus, and again, having a consistent focus. You can't just set goals one time and never look at them again. You need to expect long-term results. Although, hey, that's better than not having any target at all. At least your subconscious mind knows the general direction of moving. But the power is doing it consistently, reviewing it. But point number one is, I really believe that if you focus on something, basically you're acknowledging to both your conscious and subconscious minds that where you are right now is not where you want to be, which is you begin to notice the distinctions between where you want to be and where you are. And as you feel that distinction, your brain becomes dissatisfied. And part of what motivates human action is a sense of dissatisfaction. I mean, hey, when you're totally comfortable and relaxed, feeling pleasure, you're not super motivated to do whatever it takes to make things happen, generally as a generalization. However, when we get dissatisfied, that's when we got some real power. In fact, I tell most people in life, one of the biggest traps that most people fall into is called success. For a lot of people, success is a trap. Because what happens is when they get successful, oftentimes they tend to party. When they fail, they tend to ponder. You know, that pondering, sometimes they make some new distinctions. Dissatisfaction is a power that you want to take advantage of, not something you try to hide yourself out from. There's real power in finding something you want to move away from. Because look, pressure is what creates human behavior. Pressure and tension are primary drivers of our actions. Think about it on a ridiculously simple level. What makes you want to eat? Is it not a certain level of pressure or tension? What is it that makes you want to eliminate during the day? Pressure or tension in your body that makes you want to get up and take that action? What makes you want to make feel something? There's a certain amount of pressure that creates that feeling. Learning to manage pressure and tension in your life is probably one of the basic fundamental lessons we all must master if we really want to have a balanced life or really feel happy and successful. But learning to use pressure in goal setting is absolutely critical. With literally no pressure to go for it, we have no motivation. And so a certain amount of pressure is generated when you clearly define what it is you want and you see that you aren't there. It creates a gestalt. Your brain says, hey, I want that. I'm not satisfied where I am. And you begin to have that drive. Don't hide out from it. Welcome it. Look at it every single day. Pressure isn't necessarily negative. It can be very positive. Again, if you look at it as a tool for influencing yourself to take consistent action towards your success. You all want a metaphor, don't you? I mean, pressure is diamonds. There's rocks that are under intense pressure. Now they're turning to a gem. You need to use that same metaphor for yourself and use goals as a way of pressuring yourself. Because I know a lot of people, when they think about goal setting, they say, well, I don't want to commit to somebody else about this thing because then I'll feel all this pressure. That's great. That is fabulous. That means you're not going to back out. I mean, hey, when I decided a year ago I was going to work out every single day as an exercise, I realized the best way to make sure I kept that commitment was, number one, understand why I was doing it. Not just say I'm going to exercise the exercise. And I realized in order to accomplish the level of goals that I have in my life, I need an abundance of physical energy, vibrancy. So I have something to communicate with. So I have something that can drive me. Without that, I would end up running out of emotional gas while I'm continually driving up this mountain called success. So I didn't want to float down running out of fuel. I decided I'm going to keep that up every day. And being physically vibrant requires a certain level of exercise. So I understood why, and I linked it to having better relationships. I linked it to having more energy for my kids. I linked it to how I feel emotionally. I linked it to my level of physical vibrancy. I linked it to my business success. I linked it to my ability to contribute to others. But I had a lot of motivation going on there. But in addition, what I also did is I used pressure. And I went around and on several of my programs, specifically on one I do for business people, especially called the Power of Influence, one for salespeople. On that program, I made it really clear that the only way to succeed was to demand more from yourself than other people expect. And that I had decided that I would absolutely exercise every day of this year. I might reevaluate the future, but I'd do it this year. And I've kept it. And I'm telling it to you too, so I have to commit even more. I don't have a way to turn back. You follow me. Use pressure to your advantage. Use committing to certain people to your advantage. People that will not let you off the hook. That's part of the why. Sometimes you don't feel like doing anymore, and the only why is, hey, because I don't want to not keep my word. That's okay. Whatever it takes to get you to follow through with great results. So this tape today is designed primarily with one purpose, and that is to get you clear on the power of goal setting, what it can do to change you, and a critical element to success and goals, and that is creating a strong enough why and enough pressure to follow through. One of the ways that you create a strong enough why, by the way, is not just to write down the positive ones. In other words, gosh, I want this goal because it'll give me this and this in my life, or I'll be able to contribute this and that. But in addition, I've learned to create some of the quote-unquote negative whys, something I never would have done years ago. I'd say, God, let's make a negative person. Well, what I mean specifically is when I set goals now, I not only write down why I'm absolutely committed to making that goal a reality, but I also now write down why am I going to get this, and I do it from the frame of if I don't achieve this, what would it cost me? And I get a list of whys, of prices I'd have to pay not to have the goal. You see, what we want to do to get ourselves to succeed is link pleasure to getting the goal and pain to not getting the goal. That way our brain will be driven to use all of our resources to make it happen. Does that make sense to you? So I know for some people it may sound negative to say, well, my possibly could happen. But I think you understand the way it works. People are using the carrot and the stick. Hey, we're in charge. You can do this with anything in goal setting. You know why the goals we can change at any time. Part of the power of goal setting is flexibility. Not just getting stuck as years ago you set a goal. Reevaluate and say, based on where I am now in my life, is that still the right goal for me? It's not the right direction. I encourage people to set goals no less than twice a year. And I have them review their goals in detail at least once a month and review their top goals daily. It is that kind of consistent review that will keep you on track and produce those results that you predict. So right now, the purpose again today is to get you clear on how to unleash this power. Part of that power is the power of why. Why do you want things on the positive? And the power of being dissatisfied. So here's your exercise for today, and tomorrow will actually unleash you into a goal-setting workshop. You might want to review and listen to this tape again so you're inspired and you're going to do that exercise, because I want you to really come to life and know you're about to bring real results when you start that workshop. Today, though, pull out your success journal. Here's your assignment. What I'd like you to do is I want you to write down two things. Number one, what are some of the areas of your life you are dissatisfied with? Now, I don't want you to feel bad, go negative about it, but just be honest with yourself. What are some of the areas of your life that are not enough? It's not good enough. It's not where you deserve to be. It's not where you're going to have to be. Take a look at yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, financially, your relationships. So the question I want you to ask yourself is, what's not good in my life? What am I not satisfied with? Get inspired to write it down, because whatever you write down, you're going to change. That's number one. Make a good list of things you're dissatisfied with. That will create some pressure inside you. It creates a powerful goal. And number two, write down what kind of beliefs do I have now. A couple of additional beliefs, since we talked about them earlier. What are two or three other beliefs that I would probably need to have in order to really set goals and achieve them? Or two or three new beliefs I need to live by in order to really start achieving my goals. That's your simple assignment for today. Just leave today with a focus on getting big enough whys. The power of why is the power to achieve your dreams. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, live with passion. Reevaluate in the future, but I do it this year. And I've kept it, and I'm telling it to you too, so I have to commit even more. I don't have a way to turn back. You follow me. Use pressure to your advantage. Use committing to certain people to your advantage. People that will not let you off the hook. That's part of the why. Sometimes you don't feel like doing anymore, and the only why is, hey, because I don't want to not keep my word. That's okay. Whatever it takes to get you involved. So this tape today is designed with one purpose, and that is to get you clear on the power of goal setting, what it can do to change it, and the critical element to success in goals, and that is creating a strong enough why and enough pressure to follow through. Your Success Journal, here's your assignment. What I'd like you to do is I want you to write down two things. Number one, what are some of the areas of your life you are dissatisfied with? Now, I don't want you to feel bad, no negative about it. Just be honest with yourself. What are some of the areas of your life that are not enough? It's not good enough. It's not where you deserve to be. It's not where you dream of having to be. Take a look at yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, financially, in your relationships. So the question I want you to ask yourself is, what's not good in my life? What am I not satisfied with? And get inspired as you write it down, because whatever you write down, you're going to be able to change. That's number one. Make a good list of things you're dissatisfied with. That'll create some passion inside you. Create some powerful goals. And number two, write down what kind of beliefs do I have to have. A couple of additional beliefs, since we talked about that earlier. What are 2 or 3 other beliefs that I would probably need to have in order to really set goals and achieve them? What 2 or 3 new beliefs I need to live by in order to really start achieving my goals? That's your simple assignment for today. This week today, we're going to focus on getting big enough whys. The power of why is the power to achieve your dreams. Discover who we really are. This is about know thyself. There's know thyself and then there's be thyself. And once you know who you are, being yourself is actually the easiest thing in the world. dissociate your nervous system. So what happens is, the only way you create change is changing what you need pain, what you need pleasure to in your nervous system. That's just
up and down. So you were sending me pictures of E-Trade the other night. Did you get that open yet?
I did, but when you're using it,
Yeah.
what work? You take
It's all right. We'll get to that. I use E-Trade, it's just basic brokerage. You just want some simple tool. You know, your broker is your weapon, like, basketball, like some shoes. In order to do a stock trade, you need a broker. And I hate fucking brokers, I hate them all, but you need them. So I use E-Trade, it's simple. So right here we're looking at two stocks, GSI and EARS. With penny stocks, what you're going to learn is that the companies don't matter. I know most people want to invest in Google and Facebook and Apple, good products, worldwide revenue. With penny stocks, I don't give a shit. I'm trading the volatility. It's almost like the Vegas version of the stock market. A lot of people think that it's random, it's manipulated, you can't predict it, it's bullshit, you can't predict it. So right now, this is one of the biggest winners of the past few days. This is basically what I do. I look at chart patterns all day long. Since GSI, the company doesn't matter, throw that out there. You don't need to know about finance, you don't need to know about revenues or profits or earnings per share or different biotech technologies and stuff like that. Focus on the pattern. And this is the pattern that I love. So this is a 10-day chart. This is just bigcharts.com. It's a simple website. I'm always looking at charts. I don't post a lot of charts on like Instagram and stuff because they're boring and they're kind of technical, but this is what we live and die by. So this space in between here is when we just had a holiday, so the market took a day off. Otherwise, it would be, every day. But this is what I love. This is, in 10 days, the stock went from 50 cents up to $5, now it's back down to $2. The value of the stock is the value of the company. So if the company is trading at 50 cents, and then a few days later it's at $5 a share, the value of the company has increased 10 times, which is like, no stock ever deserves that, unless they sign like a huge deal. This company did not sign a huge deal, so it doesn't deserve to go up 10 times, so you can actually short sell. So this is what I do. This is kind of like my claim to fame, I guess, where I short sell penny stocks. I bet against them. I bet on lower prices. I bet on failure. Most penny stocks are going to go absolutely bankrupt. Like this company, probably a year from now, what's today's date? I don't even have my phone number. January 7th, 2000, what? January 8th. It's been a rough holiday. So January 8th, 2015, GSI is at $1.91. By January 8th, 2017, this is probably going to drop 100%, maybe 90%. Almost every single penny stock fails. So that's the advantage that you have with these low price stocks versus big companies. You don't know if Apple's going to be have an amazing new product, like if the iWatch is going to take off, which it didn't. I have 2 of them sitting in my closet, right? You don't know what company is going to make it or not. With penny stocks, you know the end game because they're almost all going to fail. That's not to say that they can't spike a lot before they fail, but you know the end game, and that's a huge advantage. So if you know the ending of the movie, you can kind of guess, how the characters got to that end point. With real companies, you don't know. Anything can go up or down. Microsoft can come back, Apple can fall, Facebook might become the next MySpace. Probably not, but it might happen. So with these, I just want you to get used to this kind of volatility. Because imagine right now Facebook is at roughly $100 a share. So imagine if this were Facebook stock and it went up 10 times. That would mean that Facebook went from $100 to $1,000 in 5 days. Never going to happen. They're just not that volatile because Facebook might go, they might announce a big press release, might have good revenues or something, or a new product, and it'll go from 100 to 105. So it'll go up 5%, which is a lot for like a big company. But with small companies, maximum volatility. And I want to partake in that, and you can ride it up too. Here is another example, EARS. So this is another penny stock. This is a 10-day chart, and it basically went from $4 up to $8, and now it's fading. I was betting against this actually last night at around $7 a share. I got out roughly break even because I'm trading with very small accounts this year, and I just want to protect it. I don't think we're going to have a good 2016. I was talking to you about this earlier. I think this is going to be a rough year, so I don't necessarily need to trade big right now. We've had a 7-year bull market. Sometimes you got to take, your foot off the pedal. Like, you don't need to go full on aggressive, like, we're going to be the bull market. Obviously, this is in America. We're probably going to do well over the long term, but we're going to have down years every now and then. I think this is one of them. EARS, again, this is a kind of shitty company, and you can tell how the company is based on the yearly chart. So I'm looking at, this is a 10-day chart, this is a 1-year chart. And over the year, it just kind of gradually goes down. And then something happened here. So right now, this is January. This is a very unique time. Have you ever heard of the January effect? So with penny stocks, because most people don't trade them, these kind of strategies aren't very well known. But most penny stocks go down, and because of that, people need to take tax losses. If you have a loss on a stock, you can take that off your taxes. So if you earn like $50,000 and you lose $10,000 on a stock, you can take that $10,000 loss off your taxes so you pay less taxes. But you have to do it before year end. So this creates, in essence, a lot of selling in November and December. Because why take the loss in January or February? Take it in December, that way you can take it off your taxes in April. So December is the worst month statistically for penny stocks, especially when you're a beaten down company. So you can make the case that, this is October, November, December. All of this, the reason why, it was hanging around 450 all here, but the reason why it goes down to 350 and 3 is because people are taking tax loss selling. That creates the January effect opportunity, where beaten down companies that aren't necessarily that bad can spike just because people who sold in December will buy them back in January, just because it's the exact same company, but they've taken their tax loss and they still want a position. So January is a fun month for stocks, for penny stocks, because they can spike. This is kind of a January effect play, where GSI is not necessarily a good company, but it's been beaten down so much. LEI is another one. Look at this chart. Oh. So in one day, it goes from $1 to $10 a share, and now it's back down to 4. But this is what I'm looking for. Same day, one day, this was 1 to 10. This was insane, okay? So many people in my chat room. My chat room is filled with roughly 1,000 traders. A lot of them, a lot of you are degenerate gamblers, so they just buy whatever's hot. And I'm trying to explain, this is a company that won't hold its gains. They're like, shut up, just give me something to buy. That's basically their mentality. And I didn't buy this, but pretty much my entire chat room did. And they're buying it from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, something like that. Never hold the whole time. When you make a trade, and when I make a trade, I want you to go in, when you make a trade, I want you to go in with a plan. You never just buy this stock, let's see how it does. That's what a lot of gamblers do. They don't have a plan, they hold, they hope. Sometimes they get lucky with this stuff. But the vast majority of time, you're not going to have stocks that go from 1 to 10. So whenever there's a play, I guess I don't have it on this computer. I have software that scans for any stock that is heating up a little bit. So before this went from 1 to 10 in one day, it was also up from 1 to 150. So it was up 50% in a few minutes. When a stock goes up 50% in a few minutes, it hits a lot of scans, a lot of technical scans, so you can see, wait a minute, this stock is rising. Because we know that it's January, it can rise even more. So this nearly 1,000% increase is ridiculous. We know this. But during the holidays, during the January effect season, ridiculous is good. So what I want you guys to do is open up accounts, small accounts, a few $1,000s. You need to start testing different ideas. What kind of news is going to move a stock? what kind of plan can I make? Can I buy, let's say, 1,000 shares of this stock when it's rising, when it's already up 50%, on the day, and think, okay, wait a minute, this could go up 100% or 200% or 300% during January. This is the easiest time of the year to start learning about stocks and trading stocks, because this can happen only in January. February, March, April, they're good statistically, they're decent months, but January by far is the best month for penny stocks because of tax loss selling and because of stuff like this. I'll show you more examples. It's been a crazy few days, and mind you, this is all during the worst ever opening for the stock market. So even though the market as a whole is down 5%, everyone's like, oh, Apple is getting hurt, China's getting hurt, Japan's getting hurt. I don't care about any of that. I'm focused on individual plays like this. I usually only take one position at a time. So when people say, oh, what do you think the market's going to do? Like, I humor them. I'm like, yeah, the market's doing this. But I'm really just interested in these kinds of companies. This is how I've made my money. This is how my millionaire students have made their money. Focusing on whatever is hot, trying to judge why it's hot and will it last. Here's SSN. This is an oil and gas company. Oil, if you know, is at multi-year lows. So SSN has been dead for, let's see, you can choose different time frames. This is SSN's chart. Does this look like a successful company? So it's gradually fading. And this is the kind of company that you want to bet against whenever it spikes. And this thing went literally up from 50 cents to $1.75. So a nice triple, and now it's right back down in a few days. E-Trade didn't have shares to short. This is where it gets a little complicated. Based on your broker, sometimes there's no shares to short, so you can't bet on it going down. Even if you know this stock is a scam, this stock is going to drop, you can't do anything about it. In order to short sell, you have to have shares at your broker to borrow from. You're basically taking out a loan from your broker. Sometimes penny stocks actually are good companies. Not that they're going to be like the next Facebook or the next Google or whatever, but they can survive and maybe go up from $1 or $2 or $3. So here's an example of a hot penny stock. This is Meet Me. So look at the difference between SSN and Meet Me. Do you see any difference in their one-year charts? This is straight down and this is straight up. So I'm a big believer of the chart is your best friend. Meet Me, it's a social network. It's like a wannabe Facebook. They're kind of spammy. They have ads everywhere. But their business is doing better and better. So companies always record quarterly earnings 4 times a year. Here's my revenues, here's our profits. But Meet Me several times now has taken out the extra step of putting out an extra press release saying, hey, business is better than we expected, so we are upping our guidance. So companies can also kind of project their future earnings and future revenues, and they want to tell you about it because obviously it's going to get you more interested. So in the past year, Meet Me has taken out, I want to say 5 of these press releases saying, nothing huge, not that revenue's amazing, but it's up a few million more than we expected. Every time they do that, this stock reacts. Even though it's a gradually uptrending stock, this is over 3 months. I have trouble holding a stock for 3 hours, but I'm always thinking about what is the long-term chart. So the other day I was buying Meet Me, what was my entry price? $3.86 or something, $3.86. No, it was $3.68. I'm dyslexic. So $3.68. I got out in the 380s. I made a few $100. But now it's $4.38. I have big time patience problems. So you have to recognize what your own disadvantages are. Do you guys have patience problems? Or are you extremely patient?
Depends, right? In the very
Yeah.
but I pitch with my kids. So it's definitely different.
I talk fast, I think fast, I trade fast. I lived in New York.
Now, I remember you saying that early on. With one of your guys in Colorado or something.
It's a good time.
Yeah, where he holds on a little longer than you want him to, but he.
So this is one of my most important rules. With this one, I bought it when they had a press release saying business is better than expected. So I bought it, I'm like, okay, now it should spike. It went up a little bit, but remember, the market is dropping pretty much every single day. There's a little known stat that's actually very useful. 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. So your company can have the best news whatsoever, but if the overall market is down 2-3% like you've been doing every single day lately, chances are your company is going to be down too. So I'm thinking, okay, the market is collapsing all around this stuff. I don't have a lot of patience. It's not spiking the way that I want. I got out too early. I still made like 20 cents a share, and now, another, 2 days later, it would have been 50 cents a share. So I'm not great with patience. You have to recognize what you're good at. When you start trading, you're going to learn. You're going to see, oh, okay, I'm cynical, so I prefer actually betting on failure. Maybe you guys are optimists, and you're like, yeah, this is a good company, let me buy it. So with longs, or stocks that I'm betting on higher prices, I'm very impatient, and I get out way too quickly, but I play it safely. This is rule number 1. Cut losses quickly, and get out of trades that aren't working, whenever you're not comfortable. A lot of people say, oh, I'm scared of the stock market, I'm not comfortable. You choose your entry and exit. My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multi-millionaire. So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. I want you guys to understand every single aspect of this trade. What's up? My name is Tim Sykes. That's my car. Come on in. So I wanted to give you a little glimpse of my lifestyle. I work hard, I live well, and what you should know about me is that I like to go big. This is a big house. Sometimes I stay in big presidential suites. When you work hard and you make a lot of money, you gotta go big. Yeah, okay, I'm done with that. Whoa! So, let me show you where I actually spend most of my time. This is basically what I do. Just looking at stocks, researching stocks, and then teaching other people. Most traders lose money in this industry, but with a community of actual successful traders behind you, you can do a lot of things that never were before possible. So it's kind of my baby right now. I'm very proud of it. It's not the normal 9 to 5. Sometimes I'm working 10 hours in a day, some days I don't even work. So it doesn't matter where I am, all I need is the internet. Reached all my goals, and I'm not afraid to show it off. Once you make it, you should show it off. But never stop in challenging myself. I'm always looking for more students. I'm looking to create more millionaires so that more people can have views like this. This is why I love this place, okay? Just look at this, Financial freedom is the goal for everybody. And it should be, because once you have that, you can do whatever you want. You can travel the world, you can get good places like this. That should be your goal so that you can really, really focus on what you love in life and not work for somebody that you hate. Thank you guys for coming over. I'm glad you got to see a little bit of the way that I live, the way that I work, and some of the fun that you can have when you work hard. Till you make 30 cents a day. Okay, yeah. Hello? So you go in with the plan. What was your goal when you get in? You said you would make 10% in the month. Then you cover everything. So that's, you're trying to make 20%. So if you started betting to get to like 30%, honestly, the vast majority of the world thinks you're absolutely fucking nuts. You're betting on stock, betting against stock at 30%. Yeah, what if it goes to the dollar? What if it goes to the dollar? Because this company is a great company. This is a scam. They have no cash in the bank. They have no products. The only reason why this stock is up is because of them. So, you're worried about this too. So, every company has the custody system, but they're also required the fire SEC fire. Legal fires the legal filings are different from customers because these are, basically required to have a legal file. So if you type in EUR, what the heck about this? Listen, but if you go to filings and disclosure, it's all public. This is the beautiful thing. You just have to do it. So right here, the timesheet. This is the type of thing. This is the quarterly report. And it goes legal. Actually, we have a DVD. I can go on hold on. I read SEC files. I say it's like an hour night. Puts you to sleep. I can get out and read this. So this is the last report. So as of December 31st, 2002, there were 4,800. Sometimes, you see balance sheets with like 3 zeros, with all these 4 5 lines. There's not 3 zeros. They have $12,000 in the fucking bank. They are helping guys. They are barely helping guys. So it's not a question of helping guys. It's a question of God. And the answer is when the commercial money is stopped. And you just have to find the business. And that is what the broker. The brokers is what we use for beneficiary stocks. Yeah. Yes. Correct. And so you have this one. You have no purpose. You know this one for a month. And it's 61% on the month. But there's, and you don't even have to cover. The thing is at 10 cents, he covered at 17. So it's dropped another 50%, 60%. But he took his practice. That's fine. He made 20 grand. That's fantastic. Correct. And then what they compare to the market. Because you can see the narrative. So people post the narrative. So if there's an article here about it, it's not like this. So this is the promotional now. People only get strong stock tips. Yeah, exactly. It's a hotbed for everyone. It's $12,000, right? This is a $3 billion industry. And if you scroll down, you can see at the bottom there's going to be a little discount. This is not. It's literally $12,000 in cash and $2.2 million in liabilities. It is clear they can't really make any moves. So not only do they only have $12,000 in cash, they're also $2.2 million in debt. It's a fucking fraud! So he bet against it. And then they have to go with his choices. So that's it. I'm trying to find good companies and I'm trying to find shitty companies. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Can you find shares to short? You have to check Interactive Brokers to see if there's any shares to short. A lot of times, I have a whole music video called No Borrow, No Cry. I'm like, all these different scams that I've seen in shares to short. That happens sometimes. Yeah. I'll send you that video. It's not, you don't have, you just call your broker, or you can live chat with them and say, do you have shares to trade? They say, no trade. They say, yes, you make the trade. It doesn't cost you anything to ask. It's just time. All of this is just time, Most people aren't willing to put in time to make a few hundred or a few $1,000. Because time is money. But to the vast majority of people who trade these stocks, if they put in a little extra time, the world would open up. Not saying they would make $1 million, but they could make 10, 20, 30, 50,000. But they don't want to put in any time. They want to believe this, bullshit. Government letter. Look, it's ridiculous. This is an $80 billion plus industry, one of the fastest growing segments of food industry in the planet. The company has $12,000 in cash and $2.2 million in debt. Doesn't matter. The cash is all that matters. Correct. No. You're right. Hey, True Religion Jeans. You guys know True Religion Geek? It was a Vancouver pump and dump saying these jeans are going to change the world. The fucking jeans actually took off, and now True Religion actually has an office right on Wall Street just to rub it in that they actually made it. So every now and then it can happen, especially with oil fields or diamond mining. You know, miracles can happen. But with this company, put your trust in EURI. Why should I trust this company? Like, you can read how manipulative this is. They own prime property in Romania. This gives them access to land, beach, swamps, sea, and fresh water. The swamps are a hotbed for water weed. Water weed is a long and thin, slightly bamboo. Weed is used, so they're selling bamboo. It's crazy shit, but whatever. Hey, there's a lot of bamboo. But the fact is, this company is fundamentally dangerous. So, and there's a lot of them. There's a good amount of them. But by showing you Michael Good, so this is one of his trades, but look at his chart. So, he's commenting, he wins roughly 63% of it. But you see his wins, they're all small wins, small losses, and then 23,000. And this is his profit chart since he started studying with me in 2008. He's made 1.6 million. So again, it's not huge money. You're working 6 years, best case scenario is you're making 1.6 million. There's a lot of industries where you can make more. But it's very highly probable you're betting against scams. That's it. So I want you guys opening up, either paper trading accounts if you don't want to risk any money, or open up a small brokerage account for like $2,000 to $5,000, and just try to see these headers. I'll add you to my chat. We have 1,200 traders chatting about it. They're just degenerates. It's like the people who sit at the penny slots in Vegas and it's like, nope. So they're trying everything. You don't want to do that. My business is teaching. I trade with a very small account because I want people to see that it doesn't make me money to trade. It costs me more to send out a text message to everybody than I make on a trade. Yeah. I don't gamble. You're piggybacking. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, correct. Listen, no, that's the usefulness. I rip on the chat room because they're degenerates, but sometimes traders do get hot hands. And you're like, they're seeing the market with their longs or their shorts or whatever. And it's like, okay, whatever this guy is, he feels he's in the zone. What was his name on the Knicks the other night? Mafalo. I can't pronounce his name. Afala. He's terrible, and then he makes 38 points in one night. A hot hand. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm long sucker. So, sometimes you have that. But a lot of the time it's just waiting for the right opportunity. Right now there's no pump and dumps. Otherwise I would be explaining, here's a pump and dump, this is going to crash. There's nothing going on like that. This was last night. So you have to wait for the next pump and dump. Meet me, it's already done. It's already gone up 20% since I bought. Right now the market's down 5%. Kind of tricky to play anything. Go into the weekend, don't even think about the market. But I want you guys at least thinking about this conversation. Next week, start putting a plan together. Do you want a paper trade? Do you want to open up a real brokerage account? And do it part-time, How you guys are fucking spokespeople? I don't care. I just love teaching, and I love showing this new side that no one else really considers. No one talks about this on CNBC or TheStreet.com or Wall Street or Bloomberg. It's everyone's little dirty secret. EURI was actually promoted by 20 of the most major financial websites. Because you sign up for Kramer doesn't do it, but there's other people. But you sign up for their websites, and then they rent out their email lists, and they say this is a third-party thing. It's a dirty little secret. Nobody really wants to talk about it. But you learn all these financially heavy people, and they get squashed. It's insanity, and it's over. He's on the cover twice on Sports Illustrated. No one ever did that. 2 consecutive. And now what's he doing? He's still decent, but it's not insanity anymore. That was a pump and dump. I actually think I might have even written a blog post about that. Like, I was short Jeremy Lin. I don't think it's going to last. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Simon Cowell couldn't have produced it better, okay? It was a beautiful storyline, but again, if you don't have the right fundamentals, you can be a flash in the pan. That's the penny stock. And it's very exciting. Oh, it's so exciting that a penny stock is soaring or there's a new player, but are they going to do it consistently? Are they going to be the next LeBron? I don't know. That's today's lesson. Thank you guys. I hope you learned a little something. Like it? Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. No, it's good. It's a good start. You know, this is just the start. We can. Good.
I should take this fucking shirt off.
There's too many plans. It confuses you. That's finance. That's a financial planner's dream. To confuse you so that you're just like, I don't want to do anything. Just take my money and take 2%. Personalities, different strengths and weaknesses. So you find your spot. You really seem to like the fact that you can spot, you know, go to OTC markets, basically see that this company is a fraud in black and white. That's a lot more specific than trying to judge Newton, like, is it going to go up 10% or 20%? This is a 50%, and I have 100 examples of pumps just like that. And the main thing is just finding shares to short. If you find shares to short, it'll be a few $1,000 bucks.
So,
but it feels fucking good. There's like some social justice, you know, making a few $1,000.
I need to probably take this shirt off. This bitch is not FR. Bitch catch on fire, fucking burn me underneath. I need to take that shit off. Yeah, I just signed up with another broker, and them motherfuckers are running. They running, boy. They running in this motherfucker. The other broker I was rolling with,
they have like 8
turn that shit down.
And they're
so. Money was good, you know. I'm not gonna sit here and complain on this motherfucker, but I definitely want to talk about how the money can be better. So the money just got better for me, like just within just one day. Yeah, that thing looked broke. So now I'll give you an example of how the pay is. All right, so the pay with the last broker I was fucking with, right? So I was sitting for like since 5 a.m. this morning, right? I was sitting 5 a.m. this morning till about 12 o'clock. I was on site from 5 to say 5 to, I have to look. I raced that fucker. Oh no, I didn't. I raced it. Let's just say 5 to 2, man. 5 to 1. Let's say 5 to 1. Alright, I only got paid for 4 hours of that. Matter of fact, I need to put that shit down now so I don't forget. So I only got paid for 4 hours of that. $60 an hour. So, and then they cut you off. They say, oh, well, we're not going to pay you anymore after that. Like, what, motherfucker? You going to pay me from the time I get here to the time I leave, bitch? But that's not how they roll. Motherfucker. Who you think is getting that? Who you think is getting that money? Somebody's getting that money. It ain't me. Okay, so this motherfucker here arrived. 7. Just say I only got 4 hours, right? Only get 4 hours. And I don't even get paid. And I don't get paid at this site. Let me call this motherfucker. See what he says. I might not even get paid for this bullshit. Watch this. Listen to this motherfucker. I probably won't even get paid for that shit, man. Sitting there for no motherfucking money. Hey Glenn, what's up, man? Hey, so do they give us detention pay for the BJ or what? Motherfuckers. All right, so I just sat for no motherfucking reason all day this morning and today. Okay. All right, cool. Hell yeah, man. I was sitting in that motherfucker since 5 a.m. man till 2 o'clock. Yeah, man, and I ain't get paid. It's all good. No, it's cool. No, it's cool because I won't be going back there no more. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We good. We're gonna be holding it down with soccer time. And from what I talked to Jim says it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, bro. Now we getting loaded right now, Brent. We getting loaded right now. Oh yeah, we about to kick. Super Bowl about to get kicked off. You ready for the playtime? All right, bro. Yeah, thank you, man. Bye. All right, so you heard the story, right? So these motherfuckers here that I'm hauling their loads for, the broker, they don't pay us demurrage, right? They don't pay us detention. They call it demurrage. So no demurrage on the Baker Hughes well site. That's a fuck you in your face, and they could take that fucking thing and stick it up their ass. Cause that's it. That's the last time I hauled for them. And then on top of it, another thing was I was just sitting way too fucking long, man. I was sitting way too fucking long. Like I just got dispatched just now, but I've been ready since 1 o'clock. Now, motherfuckers I'm about to hit right now, these motherfuckers I'm about to roll with right now, 24/7. 24/7. They got as many loads. My partner right in front of me. My partner, we roll with the same. We roll with the same guy that I just got the phone with. He did 7 loads one day. 7 loads one day. 7 loads one day. So yeah, he's making money. He's making money where we're at right now. So they were begging for trucks this morning. Not far. Begging. Sometimes just right down the street. And get this. You want to hear the kicker? You know what sold me? I jumped ship quick as soon as I heard this. If I get caught at detention, he said I got detention today, so this morning from 5 to 2. I get paid $60 an hour. I do. Right? I get paid $60 an hour. It don't matter if it's 100 hours. I get paid for that. Ain't no cutoff time. Motherfucker, you sit there for 20 hours, I get paid $60 an hour. 20 hours. Sell me. I'm gone, baby. And I can get as many loads as I want. I can get as many loads as I want. Whereas the other place I just left, I had to wait in line. There was a line. There's a line that I had to wait to get in. As soon as I get done on load, there's a few other drivers in front of me. I gotta wait for them to get loaded first before I can get loaded. It's 9 o'clock. I've been waiting for a load since 1 o'clock this afternoon. It's fucking 9 o'clock now. 9:30. And they just called me. that being said, you know, the wells, you know, once the wells go down and they have to move to another location, it takes a couple of days. Then I'll go ahead and go back to the other place. You know, but they're on my, you know, I've already made probably, you know, 3 times the money I made with this company than I would, I mean, with that broker than I would with this guy here. You know, so, or I might just take off. You know me, I'm gonna be out here making money. We'll be out here making money. So yeah, it's good. We got good news today. We got another broker I'm messing with. So I'm happy. I'm happy today. I'm even really happy today. My partner that's hauling water, he got 10 loads. He does about 10 loads a day. He makes about 300 and some change a load. So yeah, it's good, man. Today's a good day. Today's a good day. Now tomorrow, or at the end of the week, I'll let you know how really good it is. How really good it is. Yeah. See how many loads I get out of this bad boy. Man. They got a nice loader too. It's got a scale. Yeah, they got a scale on the transloader. That thing that's loaded me, it's a transloader. They have scale on it. And now sometimes if they don't have the scale, I got a scale on my trailer. I use that. Good. mosquitoes out here. Lady told me, she was like, I couldn't go to Florida. I'm like, she's like, I couldn't go to Florida. I'm like, what you mean you couldn't go to Florida? She's like, because the bugs. I'm like, nah, lady. Bugs out here are way worse out here. And terrible out here, man. So many fucking bugs, mosquitoes. It's fucking insane, man. A lot of mosquitoes out here, boy. Mosquitoes, bugs, I don't know what the fuck it is out here. Fucking nasty, y'all. That's all I know. It's nasty. It's nasty out here. Bugs out here. So the rate is way better. The rates were like after 70 miles. After 70 miles, right? The place I was rolling with, the broker I was rolling with, I think they paid like $30 or something like that. I don't know what it is. 30. And then after that, like after like a certain amount of miles, like say 30, I don't know how many miles it was with the company I was just with, but my partner was just telling me that Doman doesn't even pay like after that. Now, with this company now, after 70 miles, every 10 miles over that, every 10 miles over 70, I make $100. I make an extra $100. So 70, that's 80, that's $100. 90, $100. So that's 2. You know, 100, that's 3. Get what I'm saying? So that's gold. That's serious. That's a pay raise right there. That's a pay raise right there. 2 weeks, partner made $8 grand. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, partner made $8 grand. Pretty good. Not bad, not bad. That's almost 20 grand. That's 16,000 for the month. So about to crank back up. I'm really gonna crank up. I'm really gonna crank up and see what these guys gonna do. So that means I'm gonna crank up. We're gonna run. We're gonna run real hard. Run real hard, man. I was running hard with the last broker, but I wasn't getting paid. I was getting paid. No, I'm not gonna sit here and belittle, but like I said, when you're comparing, you know, company to company, I mean broker to broker, I'm like, whoa, that's a huge difference. You know, you go from making I don't know, on a good week, let's say 3,500. No, hell no, like 1,500, like 2 grand, like close to 2 grand. I wasn't even making 2 grand. Yeah, a week. These guys are making 4,000 a week. I'll be right back. Let me go get the numbers real quick. Talk to partner real quick. Fucking bugs, man. Nasty fuckers. to talk to this guy and see exactly what the numbers were. Goodbye. That, those are the pay rates. That's a night and different day right there, boy. So this is where I'm gonna get paid right now. All these, now look at that. Oh my God. It's a huge rate, man. This is what I get paid before right here on the right. I was fucking with these guys, but I ain't fucking with them no more. They ain't no good. I might have to make a video